Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. So if you guys are ready for this second part of my week of Taylor Swift videos, then keep on watching. So starting off, I tried to do my hair as close as possible it was to the picture, but I'm going after this scene where she is taking a dig at the whole squad. It is my favorite makeup look, honestly, of the whole tutorial. But I'm going to start off just priming my skin using the L'Oreal Lumi Primer, just to give my skin a nice base. And then I'm going to move on to my eyebrows, and I'm going to be using the IT Cosmetics Universal Taupe Brow Power, and keeping it very natural and arched like in my previous video, just as close to Taylor's brows as possible. Now to prime my lids, I'm going to be using the Maybelline Fit Me Concealer as always, and blending that out using my L'Oreal sponge, and then I'm going to be setting it using the Fit Me Loose Powder in the shade Fair. Now if primer works better for you, or whichever, I would do that, because this is what for me lasts so long. So this is typically what I do, but if you prefer using a primer, use a primer. Going into my Smashbox Full Exposure palette, I am going to be taking this light shade again. Like the previous video, this is a very cool toned look, and it is no warmth, and it is very gray and black. So I'm going to be taking that one and blending it all the way into the inner corner of my eye. But now moving into the darker shades, I'm going to be keeping that to the outer half. Lower than the first one, into the just in the outer V, basically. Now I'm going to be taking some of my concealer and just putting that on a base for the shimmery shade that I'm going to be having, but it is not going to be a cut crease. It is going to be very, very blended out. But this just gives something to make it super intense and just something to hold on to. So now I'm going to be taking the Catrice Liquid Metal Eyeshadow in the color Look at Me in the Ice, and just putting that all over my lid, and then blending to make sure everything is very blown out. On top of that, I'm going to be taking the Revlon Lid and Sparkle Duo, I think it's called, in the color Topaz Twinkle, but I will leave the exact name down below if I'm mistaken. But I'm just going to be taking the glitter part of that. I started it with my finger, but I just didn't like how it was looking, so I switched it to a synthetic brush. Now the glitter is not the main focus of this look. You could just tell in the video that she had some sparkle going on, so this just added enough of a sheen. Now the biggest part of this tutorial is the wing. Now with this wing, I thought it was big enough, but after I did everything, I realized it was not as big. So at the end of the video, you'll see where I corrected that. But start off with an even bigger wing than this, because her look is a very graphic winged eyeliner. Now, to deepen up the outer crease, I'm going to be taking that dark gray shade and the black shade, more of the black, and putting that on the outer V next to the wing. I wanted to do this after I had the wing so I could see exactly where it needed to go. And I just continue to blend, but then to get it even more opaque, I used a synthetic angled little brush, fluffy angled brush, just to really pack it on. Now moving on to my lashes, I'm just going to be taking really quickly off camera the Kiss Faux Mink Lash Couture lashes in the shade Midnight, and I applied some mascara as well. Going onto the face, I'm just going to be covering up those blemishes before I add my foundation, taking my Lock-It Concealer by Kat Von D in the shade Light 16, just all over my face, and blending it out. And then for foundation, to keep with a very dewy look, I'm going to go with the L'Oreal ProGlow foundation. This to me is a really good dupe for the Born This Way. It just, to me, it gives almost the same finish and the same coverage. I really like it. To conceal my bags, because Taylor, of course, is always flawless, I'm going to be taking the Fit Me, as I always do, and on top of that, the Tarte Shape Tape to give me a nice highlight. Taking my L'Oreal sponge, I'm just going to be blending that out very lightly so I get the most coverage as possible. And then I'm going to set it with my Fit Me loose powder in the shade Fair, 05 Fair. If you are fair like I am, this is the most perfect powder ever. It is so soft and amazing, and I can highlight with it if I want to, but it is just beautiful. Going to the under eyes, I'm just going to be taking my fluffy brush with the lightest and the medium dark shade and keeping the darkness to the outer half of my eye. You don't want to drag it all the way in because we will be adding a lighter shimmery shade there later. And now using my pencil brush with the same shade that we used on the lid, I'm going to take it to the other half of my corner, to my inner corner, to the middle half of my eye. And then for eyeliner, I actually went out last night and bought one so that I did not do the trick that I did yesterday. And I'm just taking the e.l.f. black gel liner. I really am impressed with this. I've already had this makeup on about 8 hours, and it is still holding on so well. And it was $3. Now taking my Lash Paradise and applying bottom mask mascara. You don't want to forget that step. I'm going to bronze up my face using the Marc Jacobs Tantric Omega Bronzer. Now this part of the face is really similar to yesterday's tutorial. It is still very bronzy and natural and very dewy. Moving on to the glow part, like yesterday, she didn't have a really sharp highlight or anything like that, but just overall shimmer and dewiness. So I'm going to be taking the same highlighter I did yesterday, which is the e.l.f. Moonstone Pearls Baked Highlighter. And then to contour my nose down to more of a tailor appropriate size, I'm going to be taking the Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer. For the lips, I'm going to be using the NYX Soft Matte Cream Lipstick in the color Copenhagen. Now this is the absolute most perfect shade. However, because it is a soft matte, it didn't have just enough sheen for what the picture was, so I did go over it with my Carmex, and I applied a little bit on my hand and just dabbed it on with my finger just to make sure it gave a little bit of a just slight sheen. It doesn't need to be glossy, but just a slight sheen. And it also has kept my lips moisturized all day. This is like the best trick in my book, at least. Now this is where I thought I was done, and I realized that my wings were just not big enough. So I took the same thing that I used in my waterline, the e.l.f. Gel liner with an angled brush, and I just really amped up my wings, and I just loved the end result of it with the bigger wings. But now this concludes my video. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a big thumbs up. It really helps me know if you guys are really enjoying it. Also, please subscribe so you don't miss out on my videos that are coming this week. I am going to be having a video up every day in regards to the Taylor Swift makeup looks in her video. But I love you guys, and I will see you in my next video.